And we are live! Hey everyone, my name is Prince, and welcome back to The Sims 4. It's so fucking sudden. Again, I've talked about this before. It's a double-edged sword. Excuse me. It's a double-edged sword, the whole, muting when you tab out thing. In some ways it's useful, in some ways it's, annoying and kind of uncanny, but it matters not. Here we go, sending out the notifs, as per usual. Hey, Akash. Again, really wish the audio could play in the background while I send these out. Hey, Boogie. You know, some people really just don't know. Some people really are genuinely still stuck in, like, 2013 when it comes to YouTube. Hey, Micah. Or Mika. Yeah, we've had pretty decent success, so far. But, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to take some liberties with these two. So we're obviously, we've been making this the third week making the Elementors, excuse me. And, today we're hopefully gonna be finishing them off. At least for now. I might come back and do the fusions at some point. I probably ought to have titled this, like, making, the Elementor fusions in The Sims 4, but doesn't matter. Hey, Dragon. But yeah, we've had, decent success in making the Elementors. Oh, you guys know the drill. I've got to check whether or not it's fucked up my gallery for, like, the 7,000th time. No. Okay, it hasn't. It's been alright. There we go. But yeah, so far, I'd say we've done pretty well. Or I've done pretty well at making the Elementors. We got Fire Elementor here. Earth Elementor. Water Elementor. Air Elementor. And then last week we did Metal Elementor. And I think they all look pretty decent. We sort of came up with the headcanon, the thing that, these humanoid forms for the Elementors take place in, like, a reality where after Makino died, the Elementors somehow gained human forms and tried blending in with society. So, yeah, I think we've done pretty well thus far. I had a go at making older Ben and Kai the other day, just for fun. So today we're gonna try and make both Ultimate and Mega Elementor. And I think the way the way I think it would be best to do this was maybe use Air Elementor's, like, base form and then edit that. Yeah, he doesn't have the same eyes, unfortunately, because, Sims 4 did a big update recently that fucked up literally, like, half the mods I was fucking using, so that's unfortunate, but I'm gonna try my best. Thank you, I'm just gonna call you E5. Dazed? I've never heard of that. Let me have a quick look. Ah, okay. Interesting. It's like a Adobe Fuse, but modern and not awful. Right. I'm gonna have to check that out at some point. Although I don't really know what I'd use it for. Oh, E5 is such a dumb name. But please just inform me. Is it, I mean, I don't really suppose it matters, but, is it Mika, like, with the two E's, or Micah with the I? No, Akash, I don't think I'm gonna make, what do the community call him? Super Metal Elemental? No, I'm not gonna make him. Because he's pretty much just Metal Elemental, but a bit bigger. There'd be no point in me making him. But I probably will at some point come back and make the other fusions. So Hydro Flame, Boulder Wind, and the other fusions from Season 5, which are, you know, practically, the only good thing about Season 5. Boogie, don't spam. I see you deleting your messages and just typing them again. I do read everything in chat just because I don't respond to it. Well, that's a lie. Sometimes I do miss stuff, but just don't spam. And I can't, there's no armor I can give them. Am I gonna make turbo modes? No, because they're not characters. They're, you know, and you know, I can't do the big, you know, overly massive muscles and the different, you know, styles of suit and stuff in The Sims 4. It's just not possible. So, you know, it's just not worth doing. Right, excuse me. Let me actually get up an image of Ultimate Elemental. That would be a good start. It's mental that they made fucking renders for Super Metal Elementor and Firestorm Elementor, but they couldn't be bothered to do it for Boulder Wind and Hydro Flame in Season 3. There we go. So I think the way I'm gonna do this, originally I thought I would try and make each outfit have a mixture of the elements, but I think what I'm gonna do is just do each outfit being one element. How many outfits do we have? Okay, that's actually quite perfect. So we have 8 outfits, and we have 4 elements. So that's just 2 elements per, 2 outfits per element, sorry. Make him, yeah, a bit bigger. Yeah, stay hydrated, people. Yeah, OG Max Steel. Ugh. Okay, so this is, I think, so how am I gonna span this out? I think, I think I'll do everyday and formal for air, athletic and maybe party, well, no, I think it'd be dumb not to do fire for hot weather. Water can be swimwear and cold weather. Fire can also be party. And then I guess earth can be athletic and sleep. Yeah, I think that'd be alright. Oh, nice, dragon. That's such a funny thing to imagine. It's not a show, Akash, it's a book, but, yeah, Turbo Fight's going alright. I haven't had the chance to work on it over the past couple of weeks, but it is very close to having the first chapter done. Which have been a bit all over the place over the past, couple of weeks. Hey, Mario. I've been seeing, people leaving comments here and there. About what's going on. It's, yeah, it doesn't seem that good. Okay, so, Ultimate Elementor's base air form is a little bit, like, darker, because it's got, like, the sort of rocky bits built into it, and the face is darker than regular air Elementor. Do a lot of renders to get to air Elementor. Oh yeah, he does have red eyes. It doesn't look like he has red eyes in the show. I'm looking at the render. Hold on, let me get up some screenshots. Some actual screenies from the show itself. Only 4 loaded then. I was like, where are my fucking screenshots? Well, of course it's going to be digital. I can't publish it as an actual book, can I? Because that's, you know, turbo illegal. Yeah, it'll be on Wattpad when it releases. Alright, where are you, Elementor? No, see, Ultimate Elementor in the show itself, he has red eyes in his renders, but in the show itself, he actually doesn't. Which is interesting that they did that. Another one of those sort of, I guess, concept to show disconnects. But, yeah, honestly, I don't know what choices are fucking doing at this stage. Like, I don't really know what I can say that is not just saying, you know, it's shit. I don't know what I can say, really. Like, I probably maybe might make a video on everything that's been happening, but it's just like, it's like, what is there to say? It's shit. They're probably gonna keep doing, they're probably just gonna keep doing dumb shit, and the way it's going, I don't even know if choices is gonna still being a thing with how desperate they're getting. But I don't fucking know. I really don't. Yeah, no, you're not technically, wrong, Akash. Ultimate does have red eyes in his render, but not in the actual show itself. Which is useful, because I'm pretty sure I have one. Yeah, that'll work. Works a lot better, I think. I'm working on a continuation, Mario, of Max Steel. Writing it in, like, episodes instead of, you know, chapters like an actual book. That's cool, Mario. You're doing some books yourself. Yeah, Dragon. Again, a lot of people don't like Wattpad for some reason. I think it's because of the search function. And in fairness, I've used the search function before and it is pretty crap. But it's like, Wattpad looks the nicest to me. Like, the three main ones are like Wattpad, AO3, and fanfic.net. And I can't remember which one's which. But, like, one of them looks like it was a website made in, like, 2003, and they still haven't updated, like, the UI. And I think the other one doesn't even let you upload fucking book covers, and it's like, that's half the fucking fun. Yeah, Max Steel, Mario, it's one of the main franchises I cover. It's a very cool TV show. About, a teenage guy who, gains the ability to generate powerful turbo energy, and he bonds with an alien, named Steel, and together they become Max Steel, and fight a bunch of very, interesting villains. It's a very good show. I'd say check it out, but it's pretty hard to find nowadays. Although there is where's our old buddy Swordman? Swordman's playlist. There we go. It's in not that good quality, but if you wanted to, if you wanted to check it out, there you go. Oh, nice, Mario. Yeah, we love Merlin. Top quality show, that. I didn't watch all of it, but I did watch some of it when it was releasing at the time. Very top quality show, that. Oh yeah, the private messenger being removed. Yeah, that was pretty shit too, Dragon. I remember about that. But Micah, I was talking about Choices. It's like a visual novel app, another franchise I cover on the channel. And basically, over the past couple of years, they've gone really downhill, and they've used a lot of AI, which is, like, really turning off the community from it, me included. I don't have as much of a problem with it as most people do, but, just the fact that they're practically using it for everything, And now they're bringing back a bunch of old books. And like they're bringing back a bunch of like cancelled sequels and stuff that people were asking for so much back in the day. And I'm just like, bro, it's too late. Like, we asked for these sequels and you didn't give us them. Like, you can't, and you're not earning back, you're not earning back any points with the community by doing this because you're still not listening to us. Like, you should, if you wanted to gain points with the community, you should have listened to us, like, literally 5 years ago when we were begging you to do Hero Volume 2 or It Lives Beneath, Book 3. You know, you can't just start pulling this shit out now while you're in this fucking horrendous age of AI bullshit and expect us to be happy about it. Like, that's not how it works. So it's just like, I don't really know what to say about it. Like, you see, I don't really know what the point of me making a video would be, because it would just be depressing. It would be me going, yes, it's shit. They're probably going to keep being shit, and they're not listening to us because Choices have never listened to us ever. They cancelled literally, like, back in the day, they cancelled pretty much every good book that people were excited to see sequels of. So it's like, they've never listened to us. It's not like they've ever been, like, either, you know, now, regardless of who the parent company is, they've never been a company that's actually listened to what we want. They've never rewarded us as a community. They've just consistently done stuff to make Choices worse over the past, like, 5 years. No worries, Zcash. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I was annoyed about that too, and I'm really annoyed about the fact that they've, like, merged notifications with, like, Wattpad updates. I'm just like, there are settings to, like, turn it off so you don't get notifications from, like, the Wattpad updates and stuff. But it's just, like, really annoying. It's just, like, like, the Wattpad updates, like, Wattpad added 5 books to features. Like, I don't give 2 shits what Wattpad is adding to their featured pages. If I want to go look, like, I don't even use Wattpad to read because, like, I mean, this is gonna sound quite mean, but a lot of the stuff on there is either exactly the same as literally everything else, or is just not that well written. Like, I'm pretty sure every book I've ever seen on the Wattpad main page is some variety of the same tiresome tropes, like, you know, girl falls in love with bad boy smut or whatever the fuck. Like, it's just so tiresome. Although they have done a good thing recently. They've added where you can, and they probably should have done this a long time ago, actually, because I think this was a thing on, I think, fanfic.net that people were using against Wattpad, saying, oh, Wattpad doesn't have this. They've added, the thing where you can, manually, like, assign a fandom if it's a fanfiction, which is very useful, obviously. And I'm proud to say that Max Steel Turbified is the first, Max Steel labeled, continue fanfic on Wattpad. You guys know I don't like to use the word fanfic, but, you know, semantics. I've not had a look at that. I've not seen that, hair color before, but I think I'm gonna go for this one, because that sort of matches the color of, like, the dark, palish brown, that makes up Ultimate Elementor's skull. Yeah, Mika, it's not good. That's just what worries me, is that, like, eventually it's just gonna get to the point where, you know, they're just not making enough money and they shut choices down, which, you know, would be a crying fucking shame. I don't really know if there's a chance of that happening or not, but, you know, I feel like it's just... They're not making... I really don't understand what they think, like, what is going through their head. It's just painful to watch, it really is. Okay, let's change the everyday outfit. So again, these are everyday outfits, so, you know, they're human clothes. So we're sort of looking for like a palish white and brown something or other. Oh, nice, Dragon. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm one of my, again, I always say that, you know, obviously, as a fandom YouTuber, and an obscure fandom YouTuber at that, it's always really, you know, wonderful to me when I can see that I've made actual change, and I think my proudest achievement is that I am responsible for there being a Arthur and the Invisibles ranked category of stories on Wattpad, because I was basically the first person to write a decent one on there. Again, that sounds like kind of mean to say, but it is true. Like, all of them on there, and there were only like 2, were horrendous. They were written horrendously, yeah, but, after I wrote, Arthur 4 and 5, a bunch of my community, were inspired to start writing their own stuff, and now we have a ranked list of Arthur books on there. My books have sort of... I don't really know how the ranking works. I think mine is still the most read. Arthur 4's on 71,000 reads. Arthur 5's on 47. They jump around rankings. They jump around rankings quite a lot. Again, I'm not really sure how it's, like, measured. Yeah, it's a little bit backwards. I don't know if it's like most... Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I don't really agree, because it's like sort by hot or new, so it's like, so it's like, is Arthur... You're not gonna tell me Arthur 5's not even on there? Are you kidding me? But yeah, it's either hot or new, so it's just like, there should be a top-rated one, which, oh, it says it's... Hold on, it says it's number 10. Well, it's not on here. Oh, it's because are they different tags? Oh, yeah, one's on Arthur and the Minimoys, one's on Arthur and the Invisibles. Fucking alternate names. Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, because, like, number 1 is, one that has, like, 155 reads, and That's, like, at number 1, and my Arthur 4 is at number 9, and it has 71,000, so it's just, like, it's not really logical, to be honest. Not to mention, I think it's just a bit dumb, because it's just, like, you know, people should be able to, you know, rate them by top rated or, you know, most popular. Because I don't, there's not really an accurate ranking. But anyway. But yeah, I'm like, a lot of the people that, you know, made these Arthur fanfics have, like, come to me and literally said, like, you inspired me to make these, so, you know, this is, one of my proudest achievements. Anyway. I mean, I like the formation of the Ultralink cores, that there's just a pattern of 5, but at the same time, that would be cool, Boogie, in the, like, it could be a representation that obviously, like, with Metals being in the center, that he's the one in control, as opposed to, you know, the other 4 Elementors having sort of equal reign over the body. Okay, this could be alright. I think this could actually work. I don't know, I'm gonna keep looking for a bit, but, that could potentially be a good one. Oh, okay, what, I don't know, because I think that'd just sort of, I disagree, because I think that'd just be sort of a bit distracted. Then again, Ultimate has that in Season 2, but I think for singular Elementors, that's just a bit distracting. It's like the bloody Stinkfly problem from, Ben 10, in that everyone always confuses the Omnitrix symbol on Stinkfly for his eye, because it's like, it looks like it would be an eye. And I mean, we had that exact problem with Earth and, kind of with Water Elementor as well, so it's like, you know, that would make it even worse. Yeah, I think I'll go with this, for the everyday. And I think it's definitely a good, idea for us to do it in, like, each outfit being in a different element, because then, we can have him swap outfits, and it's like he's changing element. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, and for formal, no, that's too, it's too pale. Yeah, that it did. Ooh, ugh. Yeah, I'll go with it. Again, a lot of these is kind of helpful because they're already set up, because we're just modifying Air Elementor. I think I'm gonna, you can, wait, can you do different hairstyles? Yes, you can do different hairstyles, okay. I think I'm gonna keep them the same because, you know, his head shape doesn't change. Although I can... Although, no, I can't do that, can I? Oh, that's really irritating. I can't modify it. Of course I can modify the bloody hairstyle, but I can't modify the hair color. That's just really annoying. But, anyway. Alright, so, what'd I say? So, hot weather is, fire is hot weather and party. Water is these two, and then sleep and athletic, that's earth, okay. Don't know if that really speaks athletic. It's not too bad. I assume, like, stylized clothes like this exist, but it's just like, it's weird to see tears in it. It's like zombie apocalypse clothes. Also, it goes over the hands. I didn't notice that. I feel like that'd be really, really bad for athletic. Like, how is that athletic? It looks like way too warm. You're running about. You don't want something like that. Yeah, okay, that's alright. Nice and simple. And maybe some joggers? No, they don't have them in brown. Oh my god. Why do they... That isn't factually not the same color. Is that meant to represent the one fucking stripe? Why would you use that to It's like saying, oh yeah, these are red because they have a red stripe on. It's like, no, they're grey. Guess maybe use them. I'd prefer them being like full joggers, like full length. But if we can't really do that, yeah, that's like maroon. Like, why is that got like a fucking puke yellow marker when it's clearly green? What's the purpose of that? It's alright sometimes, but sometimes it really just does not work. Yeah, I'll go with that. And then sleep. Do we have brown boxes? Tell me we do. Bloody hell. Jeebus. Brown. Okay, Earth Elementor is really gonna get the short end of the stick in this bloody fusion, isn't he? Yes, piss yellow underwear. I mean, this is the closest I can do. This is not Earth at all, is it? Hold on. Let me just get rid of that. my god, what are they? None of these are gonna look comfortable to sleep in, but it's like, oh no, I'm not giving him Star Wars ones. That just looks ridiculous. There's very clearly swimming trunks. Like, very clearly swimming trunks, and that irritates me a lot. But I'm just gonna go with it, I think. Alright, party, we're going fire. And this should be a good one. See, that's the thing, fire's more... Why is there not an orange variant of this design? That's so irritating. If I had the fucking color slider mod, I'd be able to make one, but... Because in the Ultimate Elementor form, he's more orange than red. That's a nice shoe. Add formal onto there as well. Ah, rainbow tie. Okay. That's not too bad. That's sort of like an orangey red. I've only played a bit, I haven't really played much of the Monster Hunter games. I only played a bit of Worlds. Could never really get into it, but it was definitely a good game. I just wasn't very good at it. I'll probably play it for game night at some point, obviously, because I still own it. Give it another go. Although I don't know, because, you know, it'd be 3 hours of me, like, trying to relearn the game and being shit at it. It's not really my thing, to be honest. No, again, Dragon Knight, I don't play with viewers or randoms. Ugh. It's like coral pink. No, thank you. Why do they have to be torn? That looked perfect, apart from that little fucking tear right there. That's bloody pointless. I feel like he looks a bit too bright and colourful, but, I think it's alright. Oh, no. Well, I don't know, Boogie. Like, flight modes, I mean, he can already fly. Not as good as Max can, obviously, but he can still fly. Again, it would be hard to fit all of that into his suit, I guess. I mean, actually, no, he didn't. He doesn't. He already can breathe underwater because we saw that in Deep Turbo Blue Sea. Stealth mode again would probably take some pretty extensive modifications, and spike mode, I don't think he could just like modify to like, because Max is able to regenerate the turbo spikes. Dread would just like, he would only have the whips. But that is kind of an interesting idea, like Dread modifying his suit to sort of mimic Max's turbo modes. But I feel like, you know, at that point, it's just like, just give him an Ultralink. Thanks, Mika. I don't know, I think it's I feel like the suit looks a bit too bright. I'm not a fan. Well, how about this? Oh, that's literally pretty much exactly the same. What exactly is the difference between these two? Slight difference in, like, how it's folded over. There is such little difference between these two, it's ridiculous. Again, it's more that it's like, you know, it's more orange than red, but they don't really have an orange suit in here. Well, I don't know if he could easily do it. I can't remember if Dread's, I feel like Dread's, ships had stealth mode at some point. So maybe stealth mode, but again, it's just like, at that point, it's like you're trying to make him too similar to Max, and again, at that point, it's just worth it giving him an Ultralink. Well, no, it's not about... Well, you don't grab stuff with whips. That's not what whips are for. Also, hey, Adventures. And welcome back, Akash. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with that. Let's do hot weather before doing the other two. Why is that so dark? Well, I can't change the skin color between outfits, unfortunately. I wish you could, and maybe there's a mod to do that, but I'm sticking with the pale white because, you know, air is the primary form of Ultimate Elementor. The fucking V line on that shirt just looks way too low for a guy wearing it. I mean, if anything, it'd probably be too low for a girl wearing it too. It just looks weird. Is there a good orange one here? That doesn't really give off hot weather vibes. Well, that's more cannon spike, adventures. The regular whips of spike mode, he does use his whips to, like, slash at enemies, and he uses them more as, like, Spider-Man, ropes, which Dread can't do. Ah. Slim bloody pickings here. I guess I could go with that. And what shorts do I currently have on? Not ones that can be turned orange. Well, yes, still, but it'd make him more maneuverable. Again, we're talking about, like, Dread mimicking the abilities of Max's turbo modes. No, it's more Earth. I'm not sure those two oranges go together. Yeah, but then, yeah, but then it's like, how do you power that jetpack buggy? He goes, he'd go way faster just by using negative turbo. But I see your point. Just not really sure that the oranges go together. Why is this one so dull? When you've got like a Hawaiian-ass shirt, you don't want it to be like a dull fucking orange. You want it to be bright. And absolutely not. I don't think solar energy would be enough to power a jetpack. Can barely power a phone. Oh, Pride Shirt's nice. Again, this series has, like, opened my eyes to so many outfits that I didn't know were in this game. That gives me more athletic vibes than hot weather. Yes, Adventures, that's because they've got giant solar panels on their roofs. With a tiny fucking little solar, like, panel on his back or whatever. Dread ain't gonna charge a fucking jetpack with that. Not to mention, like, what if it's nighttime? What if he's underground? It just wouldn't work. Yeah, I mean, isn't it like, I just remember, you know, Jurassic World Evolution just fucking sticking solar panels fucking everywhere. It's been a while since I've played Jurassic World Evolution. Why haven't I played it for game night yet? Why haven't I played it for game night yet? That's like well, actually, no, because it was... yeah, seriously, why have I not played either of the Jurassic World Evolutions for game night yet? I don't even know if they're on my list. Are they on my list? I don't remember them being on my list. I have a list of, like, pretty much every game I own, you know, in the, you know, the video list master document. Game night, Xbox One. It's not even on there. PC. It's not on there. Why have I... Number one, why did I not write it down? Number two, why have I never thought about it before? Okay, well, I think I'm gonna have to play Jurassic World Evolution for game night then. Maybe it can... One of them can be... I think I'll probably play 2... just because I don't really think one's not worth playing for me because I only have it on Xbox and it's not Game Pass compatible. Meaning that I can only play it on Xbox. Whereas Jurassic World Evolution 2, that is part of Game Pass, but I owned it beforehand anyway, so I can play that on PC. So I'll play Jurassic World Evolution 2 for game night, Season 3. I'm gonna add that right now. Game night order. By the end of the Golden Revisit batch, for Season 2 that we're doing right now, we will have done 44 game night streams. I can't believe we're on Season 3 already. I've actually already got the first two... batches of Season 3 planned out, but I need to edit some of them because, I do have, I have changed my mind on a few of them. I'll do that later. It's not necessarily me doing it in the middle of a stream. Honestly, Boogie would probably just blow him up. If Max was able to overload Dread at the start, especially considering Dread's suit was built to harness turbo energy, considering how much more powerful, green turbo energy is, it would probably just literally blow him up if he tried to absorb even a bit of it. Serves him right for, you know, trying to absorb more, I guess. Right, yeah, I think I'm gonna go for that for fire. It's not perfect, but very slim pickings. And finally, cold weather. Oh, that's pretty good. I love it when we find, clothes, like, really quickly. Does help when I'm not yammering on like an idiot. But then again, that's why you guys subscribe to me. Okay, yeah, I'll go for that with water. Ugh. Yeah, that too, Dragon. No, I don't think so, Adventures, because it's like, what would that even be? I did wonder that. Oh, that, I just noticed that has, like, oh, I don't like the straps, though. They're a bit, Ah, you barely notice them. And swimwear, finally. Water. But I've been going, like, back and forth about that in my head, for a while. I brought it up in the original Season 5, video, but I'll definitely go, more in detail about it, when we eventually get back to Season 5, with Max Steel rewatched. Like, however many years in the future that's gonna fucking be. By then, I'll probably have a lot of... I mean, I could review it right now and have so many different thoughts than what I had originally. So, you know... But, yeah, I've gone back and forth in my head about, like, whether that's something that would be possible for all Taconians, or whether it was just a freak event for Max in his specific situation. I guess, you were right, and, you know, you were half right, Dragon. Well, yes, I'm going to Adventures when we get back to it in the chronological review order of Max Steel rewatched. Alright, I think that's it. I think we're done for Ultimate. We got 2 for Air, 2 for Earth, 2 for Fire, and 2 for Water. Bingo bango. Ultimate Elementor. And, what about you? I guess maybe go for Athletic. It's a little bit difficult with this because it's not like, I don't think we could really do the, you know, how are they gonna fit into the human world with this, because it's the 4 of them combined. So just go with the strength one. Hey Ma. Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I'd probably go for Jurassic Park, because it's like, Prehistoric Park, as far... I've thought about this a lot, you know, but, like, Prehistoric Park was never gonna be open to the public. It wasn't designed to be, like, a, you know... It wasn't, a commercial park. It was designed to be, you know, a private nature reserve, almost, for breeding prehistoric animals in captivity, whereas obviously Jurassic Park was obviously, you know, the whole point of that was that it was a commercial thing. I'm alright, Ma, how are you doing? Yeah, I saw you trying Rivals. I don't think you need to watch a video. I think, you know, it's not, you just sort of need to look up what, you know, the role of each character's meant to be. I mean, I don't really think it's that hard to figure out, you know, just by playing the characters and looking at their abilities, you know, what sort of role you're meant to be doing within a team. Like, for Spider-Man, you're not going to be, like, right there in the middle of the fight, because you've got fuck all health and your abilities don't really do that much damage, for instance. Yeah, but did Age Adventures, again, I've talked about this before, like, everyone seems to think that, you know, Max absorbed all of the energy in the turbo chamber, and yes, because of what Jim said, and I've talked about this before, and I do think it's more of a metaphorical thing, like, it's inside both of you forever, like, it's not, for one, it couldn't be inside them forever, because turbo energy is finite, you know, they just use it, eventually, and for two, I think it's more of, like, a metaphorical, symbolic thing that, like, everything left of Tachyon is within them, not actually all of the turbo energy itself. And that's mainly because, one, the majority of the turbo energy would be used in the ultimate turbo pulse, because that covered the entire Earth. And for two, the majority of that energy that wasn't used formed into exo strength. And it's like, again, I've talked about this before, you could easily headcanon it either way, you know, you could I do think that, like, that you could argue that absorbing, he wasn't really even absorbing it, it was just like, he was just being a conduit for that energy. He wasn't really absorbing it. He was just, like, sort of temporarily holding it within himself and then just expelling it. He wasn't really taking it into himself. And again, you can make 1,000 different arguments and headcanons about it, like that enhanced his turbo cells to be able to produce more turbo energy, but I'm not really sure that makes much sense. If anything, I feel like absorbing that much turbo energy might actually damage his turbo cells, because that's, like, more than he should be able to handle. Which is probably why it kind of seemed like it was painful for him when he was doing it. So, you know, you can make 1,000 different arguments, but I do not think that he absorbed the energy of the turbo chamber, because the energy was used to make the ultimate turbo pulse, and the rest of it formed into exo strength. So, he didn't absorb all of it. And again, even if he did, like, you know, it'd still be a finite amount. He'd probably just, like, eventually use all of it. Excuse me. Oh, that's cool then, Ma. I mean, I don't know about that, Dragon. I mean, like, the Jurassic Park fences only failed because, you know, the power was fucking sabotaged. The Prehistoric Park, you know, the fences were made out of fucking wood. Couldn't keep fucking anything in. All it took was one Titanosaur, which, again, you know, all it took, you know, it's not really, you know, not like a Titanosaur is that minor of a thing, but it's like, I really doubt that Terrence and Matilda couldn't break out of their own enclosure if they wanted to. I mean, Matilda broke into Terrence's enclosure in episode 5, so, you know, it goes to show that, it was more about keeping them happy so they didn't break out, rather than them being incapable of breaking out. Like, that's more the thing of it, I think. Although, you know, that would have helped in Jurassic Park, you know, keep the animals happy so they wouldn't want to break out. Because, you know, they were, in the original Jurassic Park, they did not like being in their enclosures. The conditions for the animals were not good. Whereas for, you know, Prehistoric Park, they were pretty happy. And whenever they weren't happy, the great and wonderful staff of Prehistoric Park always did something to make sure they were happy. Oh, pardon me. Well, yeah, exactly, but that doesn't really mean anything, Adventures. Like, he has the mode and he can use it now. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have talked about this before, in regards to Turbified. I'm pretty sure I've already revealed this, but, I can't remember if I have or not. Again, I sort of don't recall what I have and haven't talked about, but, there's gonna be, Max isn't gonna be able to, use Exo Strength immediately in Turbified. Due to some, you know, some issues. And I think, again, I think what the sort of plot line I've sort of, excuse me, the plot line that I've sort of got set up, for how Exo Strength works, I feel is a very realistic plotline that I feel like, had the show continued, would have been a realistic thing for them to probably do. And it helps with realistic power growth as well. Because we saw how powerful Exo Strength was in Pterosaurus. And for Max to just have access to that just like that whenever he wants, like, that's a bit too much power growth, especially considering he just got access to Duo Strike, and then he gains access to another regular but incredibly powerful turbo mode. Yeah, but it's like, for one, you've got to be really clever to make something like that, Boogie. Although, in, The Truth Hurts, Ultimate Elementor did get schematics for Dread's Turbo Siphon. Although, the diagram he had, it looked like the one from THI, not the one that he actually uses himself, but I don't know. But, it's like, even if they could, like, if someone could make a Turbo Siphon, it's like, what would they use it for? I mean, you know, you could come up with a thousand different things, but it's like, Extroya's not gonna do anything with turbo energy. Toxon, maybe. You know, maybe he could do something with turbo energy. A Nort. I feel like Nort could make a turbo siphon. Because he is very intelligent, he's very good at engineering. Like, he was able to repair the transmitter component, when it was basically completely fucked. So, but it's like, I feel like there wouldn't really be much you could do with that plotline. It's like, what, apart from Toxon, it's like, what would anyone really do with turbo energy? You know, what would not do with turbo energy? Oh yeah, I suppose so, Boogie. But again, number one, that would just make him too similar to Dredd. And, I mean, I feel like maybe they could do that for, like, an episode. But again, it would just make him too similar of a villain to Dredd. It'd just be a bit of a dull plotline, I think. Well, I mean, I think there'd be a lot more boring Dragon. It'd just be like, constant training and no excitement, like no Elementors or anything like that. But I mean, then again, like the you say like, oh, met up like a year before the events of the show, but like that wouldn't actually change anything, because it wasn't that like the beginning of the show happened to coincide with anything. It was more that, like, obviously Max linking with Steel was basically the kickoff for everything. Like, you know, everything with THI only happened because Dredd found out that Max was there, and, you know, they didn't know that Max was generating turbo energy until that point. Well, no, like, well, yeah, like, nothing happened in Max's childhood. Again, they didn't even know that he was gonna generate turbo energy until the start of the show. Like, Max's life up to that point was just, like, moving around. Literally nothing happened. And again, it wouldn't have mattered when they'd, like, move, because that could only have happened if Max had just started generating turbo energy a year earlier, and then the show would have just happened basically the exact same way. Except maybe, I guess they would have had a decent bit more time to prepare for Makino. Because they were keeping an eye on him to see if he was going to generate turbo energy or not. That's why Molly kept moving him around, because they didn't want him to get close to, or, you know, get settled anywhere too much in case he started generating turbo energy. They were keeping an eye on him. They didn't know if he was actually going to or not. But anyway, for Ultimate Elemental, I think it's definitely a fitting one to give him erratic talking to themselves, because, you know, there's meant to be 4 Elementors in this body. See, I'd go childish, but I don't really think, like, the actual stuff that means in The Sims actually would fit with his character. I don't really know, Boogie. It could be either, to be honest. It is weird that we never really got a clarification on that, because it's like, now that Dredd, now that Dredd knows about Max, and that, you know, he has a mobile source of new turbo energy, like, he wouldn't need to do that again. Like, he could get, the same amount, to go into his, like, upgraded form that he got from the THI experiment from, like, absorbing from Max for a couple of seconds. So it's like, there wouldn't really be any point to doing that whole charade again, because that would just draw unnecessary attention to him, and he could get exactly the same amount of turbo energy by absorbing from Max anyway, so it could very well be that he was trying to replicate Max's powers by getting an Ultra Link for his own, but, I guess we'll never know. It is a bit weird that he randomly, especially considering, like, especially considering that he was, like, meant to be allied with Makino, and he randomly, like, stole an Ultra Link. Maybe it was, like, meant to be, a gift, like, something to, you know, a show of goodwill to Makino or something? I don't fucking know. Yeah, again, Adventures, that's all we need. We just need the Jim Steele prequel. Yeah. Like, we could get, like, 3 fucking seasons of that. We could get, you know, Season 1, Jim's life on Tachyon, Season 2, their adventures, in, like, out in the galaxy, Season 3, you know, their time with Entech and, preparing for Makino, and ending with the Turbo Star explosion would be peak. Yeah, Ultimate Elementor is definitely hot-headed. And... Maybe Loner? Well, again, Dragon, that, like, the whole point was that he needed to use it, like, at a time where Jim was generating a lot of turbo energy, and, you know, he couldn't really do it at any other point, I guess. Right, I'm gonna go clumsy, but, excuse me. Non-committal could be funny. Because, like, you know, originally they didn't want to be all combined together, but then they kind of got over that. Maybe ambitious, but I don't know. I mean, they are kind of playful in like a bit of a sadistic way. Yeah, you know what? I'll give them that. And I haven't done... I don't think I did voices for the other 4... The other 5. I might have done it for metal, but, I'm gonna go for airs. Well, if it... Yeah, I'm gonna... I think I did do it for air, actually. I can't remember if I did it for the others, but yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. Alright, well, that is... Ultimate Elementor... Donzo. Fantastic. That's pretty good. Yeah. Oh, nice, Ma. Yeah. And yeah, he did handle, the situation pretty well. I mean, like, he freaked out a little bit, but, you know... Then he was like, alright, you know, this is pretty cool. When do I think Dredd first decided to join Makino? See, I'm not sure about that. That's been something I've always sort of thought, like, considered in my head about, like, when exactly did that happen? It could have been, like... If I had to make a guess, maybe, like... Because I don't think, I think it probably happened after the Turbo Star accident. Which is weird, because, I've just realized that, Makino obviously was completely aware of the fact that Jim was alive because he had Jim as a power source. And yet, Dredd, even though he was able to absorb turbo energy from the reactors of the Makinian ships, and he must have known that that was turbo energy, he didn't know that Jim was still alive. Or maybe Makino told him that it was just like some other type of energy that was like a substitute for turbo energy. But then again, I don't think Dredd would even buy that. He'd know that that was turbo energy still, but he didn't know that Jim was still alive. Like, we see that in Maximum Morphos, that he is surprised that Jim is still alive. He didn't know that beforehand. Right, Mega Elementor. As per usual, we're gonna, I'm not sure how we're gonna do this one. Because we've got, 8 outfits, but 5 elements this time. Maybe we could do metal for, like, everyday formal, everyday formal sleep and maybe party. And then, you know, earth for active, water for swimwear, fire for hot weather, and maybe wind for, air for cold weather. Yeah, sure, because again, with Mega Elementor, it's different in that, metal is the dominant one. Well, I don't know if he fought with Enteg, but he was definitely there during it. because he was obviously, one of the Entech founders. He was probably like, because I don't really, obviously, before Dredd, gained the suit and the powers and everything, I don't really think he was much of a fighter, so he was probably, like, back at base coordinating stuff, sort of like Berto. Because while Jim used to have Berto's job, obviously Jim was fighting in the war and Dredd probably wasn't. So yeah, he was probably like the field coordinator or something. Because I can't imagine, like, fucking business boy Dredd fighting in the Battle of Earth. It just doesn't really seem like him. Alright, so let me pull up an image of Mega Metal. I could do a different one, actually, that I don't currently have. God, why are the pictures always so bloody low quality? Ugh. Oh yeah, definitely. You know, mountains are, I feel like that's quite quite an obvious bit of game design, using mountains as, like, realistic, natural boundaries in games, rather than just the invisible fucking wall. The same way that a lot of games use, like, the ocean as a boundary and put something cool at the edge to stop you from going any further, like a megalodon or a storm or something. Right, so in comparison to hold on, can I... Yeah, show me the bloody gallery. I need higher quality images than this. Why are they all such low bloody quality? There we go, much better. Still don't know where this bloody screenshot came from of, like, Mega Metal next to Nova Mode. Alright, so, first of all, Mega Metal has a drastically differently shaped head. As for the hair, because I sort of used that for, like, the upper bit, I might go the same as, Ultimate Elementor. Ah. Oh yeah, that could have been cool, Boogie. I still find it weird that that design exists. Like, to this day, I still don't get where that came from. Because that render had to have been made for some purpose. But it legit doesn't match, like, any of the toys. And I really thought that Hero Overload was going to be where it came from, but it wasn't. He didn't even use his upgraded form in that episode. In that, graphic novel, sorry. I don't think Soju Adventures, again, the Ultralinks don't seem to, like, even really, like, they only really tolerate each other. I don't think any of them are really friends, you know, the McKinney Empire doesn't really encourage friendship. Alright, so we got the white eyes again. Let's have a look. First of all, it needs to be a duller color. Yes, perfect. I mean, it's a bit of a weird question, Dragon, because it's like, you could easily say, like, in another timeline, anything ended up happening, but I don't think Dredd, you know, Dredd was just a greedy guy. He didn't really, he didn't really care about anyone, so, yeah. And that could actually look, it's like, I need this pattern, but a bit more. Oh, bloody ponytail. Again, we had this problem with fucking Mega Metal last time, that, like, he was the only elemental where, like, I couldn't get the hair to look intimidating. Or I couldn't get him in general to look intimidating. That hair looks way too solid. It just looks like a helmet. Give him a mohawk. Considering maybe going with the same one that we used for Ultimate and Air, because they do have a sort of similar-ish head shape. It's not exact, but it's definitely more based around Ultimate Elemental than Metal. So I think maybe I could just go for the same one. But it's not exactly the same. No worries, Dragon. Thanks for stopping by. No, I don't think so, Boogie. I think we just look too ridiculous. Oh yeah, I definitely think he knows about them. Well, actually, well, yeah, I think he must know about them because Metal knows about them. He mentioned them by name, so they're definitely aware of the Black Star Council. Maybe he just doesn't really see them as a threat, like, because they send a few bounty hunters get sent out here and there, to, you know, take out a couple of Ultralinks when he has literally, like, millions of them. It's not really that big of a threat to him. More of a nuisance rather than anything. I don't really get why, like, they did the whole thing of, like, oh, you know, bring the Ultralinks before the Black Star Council to, like, judge them for their crimes, you know. Just fucking kill them. You know, I obviously, you know, I guess that sort of had to be a thing, because otherwise Vengarn just would have killed Steel, but, it's just, like, I don't get what the point of wasting time. Like, you waste time bringing one fucking Ultralink before the Black Star Council. They're just, like, they're just gonna be like, okay, you're guilty, kill him, you're guilty, kill him, you're guilty, kill him. Like, just a waste of time. Just, like, the time it takes for a bounty hunter to go from the Black Star Council out to a distant planet, get an Ultralink, bring them back to the Black Star Council, and have them judged. It's just like, you could have killed, like, an entire fucking squadron of Ultralinks in that time. Just fucking kill them. Yeah, well, again, little teaser for Turbified. The Black Star Council are going to be in Turbified, because obviously the sort of next plot line that was being set up in, Season 2 was definitely the Black Star Council. Like, you could tell they were setting them up to be future villains, or, you know, probably maybe even the next arc was gonna be Max against them. But they're not gonna be, like, the major arc in Turbified, but, we are going to be carrying on with that arc, and, we are going to be seeing them in person. And there is a reason, within the Turbified continuity that Makino wasn't able to just go there to where they are and absorb them. Yeah. Okay. I think I am gonna go with this, this one, you know. Ugh. So I think it sort of fits quite well. I probably should have gone, for this for Air Elemental, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So, outfit. Now, his outfit is a lot darker than regular Metal's, so... Now, I really struggled with Metal last time, so... Let's see what we can do here. I don't know, Jadventures. I'm still working on it. I haven't had the chance to work on it over the past couple of weeks. I've been a bit all over the place. But, you know, if there was a release date, you guys would know it. And I do plan to try and give you guys a release date so you can, like, not, you know, not just shadow drop it. So I can build up some hype. Even if it's just, like, a week in advance. But, yeah. Hopefully soon, that's all I can really say at the minute. Oh, this could be cool. Well, what do you mean? That's what I've been working on, like... That's what's gonna be released. Episode 1. What, you think I've just had episode 1 done for, like, and I've just been working on the other episodes? No, this is, like, I'm releasing it episode by episode. What do you mean? Okay, I think that's a bit too dark. And there's too much black. I think that could work for, yeah. Go with that. Yeah, I feel like they definitely could have gone, like, more, I mean, again, it is, like, you know, they wouldn't want to make him look too creepy, but, you know, I mean, they did Mortem, so, I think Mortem's the creepiest dude, in all of Max Steel, so, you know. They went, like, unusually horror-esque with Season 4. Yes, Adventures, because, funnily enough, Max Steel Turbified is something I have to do in my very limited spare time, because I do not get paid for it, and I have, like, you know, a job and a life I have to live outside of that. So it's slow progress, but I appreciate people being patient for it. Yeah. Yeah. But yes, it is, like, again, I'm making sure, again, like, I started again, I started the episode 1 over, if you guys remember, back in 24, because, you know, I wanted it to be the best it could be, and it is very high quality, very, like, the best writing I think I've ever done, so, you know, it's gonna be worth the wait. Yeah, but then again, it's like, we only saw Dread like that for literally 2 episodes, so, you know, wouldn't have been that worth it. Yeah, it was, Ma. Again, I don't get why, like, that's sort of been, like, it's not bad writing, but that's sort of just been probably the one and only thing where I've just been like, that just seems weird to me. Like, I don't get how, like, any of them could think that was gonna be a good idea. Like, that was very clearly gonna be consequences, and they were all doing fine, so it's like, you know, I don't get why they thought that was a good idea. My normal job is doing YouTube, Ma. That's what I'm referring to. No, I didn't start in 24. The production of Turbified, I started writing Turbified, like, when I, put out the second Turbo Mode compilation. That was, like, back in 22. And I wrote, like, a good, maybe 2/3 of chapter 1 before starting again, because it was, like, really sort of rushed and, just not good quality in comparison to what I can do now. And it was definitely worth starting again. Also, it allowed me to reflect on a lot of things, and, like, I wasn't as knowledgeable, I wasn't as knowledgeable about Max Steel back in that time, so, you know, I wasn't able to put as much intelligent thought into thinking everything through and how it would progress and, how, you know, because, again, it's, writing, even the first episode of Turbified has really demonstrated to me, like, how really difficult it is to be a consistent, like, sort of flawless writer when it comes to shows like this. Like, you know, I harp on the Ben 10 writers a lot, and in fairness, they did make some really dumb decisions, but, it's like, trying to be consistent, even in your own show, sometimes can be, like, really difficult, like, planning stuff out, and sometimes you do stuff that has unintended consequences, and, introduces concepts that you didn't really think about. Excuse me. Yeah, it's difficult, but, yeah, it was definitely a good idea, a good thing that I started again, because I don't think Turbified, I've been able to make it a little bit more airtight with all of the things that I'm introducing, and come up with new concepts and everything like that, and just generally think things through a lot more, and everything. Damn, that's cold-blooded adventures. I mean, you make that joke more, but I do actually have hay fever, so I am allergic to, like, pollen and stuff. Which I really hate, I despise, because I love, you know, nature and stuff. Right, yeah, I think that works for Mega Metal. And then Formal, that should hopefully be... There's gotta be, like, a dark grey suit, surely to God. That's pretty good, although could do with it being... Oh yeah, there we go. That's the same suit I had, Xander wear as well. Hey, Andrew. Ugh. And then... no... Yeah, there we go. Had some decent success, been way more successful. I mean, helps that, you know, I'm not just constantly talking all the time. But we've had decent success in the creation of the Elementors this time. Right, what did I say? So, Athletic was Earth. Yeah, it was these four. Okay, so Sleep and Party, they're Metal. That could fit, I guess. Yeah, I guess that fits. And Party... That unironically kind of fits as well. And it kind of makes sense considering it is primarily just metal. Yeah, I'm actually going to go with that. Okay, athletic, so this is gonna be Earth. I mean, it should be pretty easy. Gotta be a brown for this, surely. No? Damn it. Why do they have such few colors half the time? I don't get, right, why they don't just have, like, why do they not just have a color picker? It is not hard to change the color of a piece of clothing. That's literally like you just put a fucking color wheel in. It's not difficult. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, like, I theorized it could either be that, like, you know, someone higher up was forcing her to do that, but it didn't seem like that. But it's like, it just seemed like a bad, like, it didn't even seem like that. It just seemed like a really stupid idea. Well, yeah, Adventures, but it's not that, a lot of the time it's not that, like, oh, young people are just lazy. Like, you've ever tried to apply for a job in this day and age? Like, you know, you can, people make memes about it, like, you know, but it's true. Like, you'd send, like, 20 applications to different jobs and you get, like, one reply and it's just to tell you that you didn't get the job. Oh, that's a brown. Is that the one I went for last time? I think it might have been. Doesn't matter, we can have repeats. No, I'll go with that one. Try and have a bit of variety. Yeah. Okay, so that's one of the... That's Earth. Then swimwear is water. That's a nice and simple one. I'll go for a slightly different one. Yeah, give it a bit of brightness. Yeah, again, Adventures, that, like, again, you know, people like that do exist, but, like, using it as, like, a blanket thing is just a bit judgmental. Like, again, like, it's treated as, like, almost like a shameful thing to, you know, live with your parents, you know, nowadays when you're, like, in your 20s or whatever. But it's like, bro, have you seen the prices of, like, houses and stuff? Like, there's a reason that people make memes about it. Like, you know, you put a picture of a shed and it's just like, someone will make a joke, be like, oh yeah, like, you can rent that for like 500 a month. It's just like, it's not a joke. The reason people make memes about it and stuff is because it's true. Everything is just so unbelievably expensive nowadays. And even for the people that are, like, genuinely trying, it's just, like, it's ridiculous. That is just deadass not the same color. I think the lighter blue is actually the better. I prefer the darker blue, but I think the... Yeah, that's more accurate to water's color. Favorite music in Max Steel? It's a good question. Don't lynch me for this, but and I've said this before, but I do actually really like the Team Turbo theme. It's I think it's one of the better things, about Season 4, in that, like, I think they sort of introduced music that's a little bit more iconic, almost. In that, like, there wasn't really a lot of standout music in the first 2 seasons that was, like... the only one I can think of is, like, the only one I can think of is, like, the one in the sort of heroic theme in Season 1, which they didn't reuse in Season 2, which is weird, but the one where it's like, do 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 dun 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 dun, and that's, like, in every big battle that they have in Season 1, every like, important, sort of plot-focused battle, like the battle with Air Elementor, when Max is saving Copper Canyon from the missile, and stuff like that. But they didn't reuse that in Season 2, which is weird. But apart from that, I feel like Max Steel just didn't really have that, like, that's one thing like, the music sounded cool, but it all just sort of blended together. Like, there were that and maybe the Elementors theme, like and maybe Dread's theme, but they all just sort of blended together a bit. They weren't really, like, there wasn't really a lot of music that was, like, super iconic. I think that is one of the weaker parts of Max Steel, whereas I do actually quite like the Team Turbo theme, which is why I decided to make it the theme to Max Steel Rewatched. Make it mean something better. Yeah, I do, actually. I think Future Extroyer could be a really interesting concept. Like, over time, he just starts, like, you know, all of the DNA and stuff within him, like, the Ultralink starts to deteriorate more, and the DNA starts to, like, merge with his human form, and, like, you know, all merging together into one, like, abomination humanoid thing. Could be a really interesting concept. Okay, so that's water. Hot weather is fire. I don't like going for the red, but I don't think we're gonna get, like... It's like we just sort of need, like, reddish orange. No, that's, like, coral. That's alright, I guess, but they just sort of look like swim shorts. And I don't really like having duplicates. Could give him these. And then... I think, again, this is what I did last time. Let's have a bit of variety. I think I'll go with this. It looks interesting. It's got, like, the actual fire iconography. And again, if we're going for, like, you know, the different Elementors being humans, I think this makes sense. And finally, cold weather. That can be air. So we just need a paler one of... Well, just something paler than this. Something like that. That's pretty perfect. Yeah, that's fair, Adventures. Again, like, there are people, there are a lot of people like that. And there are a lot of fucking stupid people in Gen Z. Oh, I swear to God, half the time when I go on the internet, I lose a bit of my faith in humanity. It's mainly any time I go on either Twitter or Reddit. Not every time I go on Reddit, but I've found a lot of stupid people on Reddit. Okay, I think that might actually do us for Mega Elementor. So we've got everyday, formal, sleep, and party for Mega Metal. I don't know if that's... Hold on, let me have a look at the suit color again. It's almost like too much of a contrast. Although I guess it can like fit with the spikes and stuff. And then Earth for athletic. And then water for swimwear, fire for hot weather, air for cold weather. Nice! Ah. That would be pretty cool, Boogie. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by as well. See you around. Oh, out my jaw again. Yeah. It's painful. Anyway. Right, yes. Dunzo. Mega Elementor. I think the thing that annoys me, probably the most about, the Elementor fusions, more just Ultimate and Mega, sorry, how many times they fuck up, like, the voices, even in, like, their debut episodes, like, in, Elements of Surprise Part 2, the amount of times, like, they use the wrong voice for the wrong form and everything, and, in fucking Mega Elementor's first scene, they, like, jump between using, like, Metal and Earth's voice, and it's just, like, they're really sloppy with it a lot of the time. It's, like, the most inconsistent thing they do. And I don't really know how it happens, because it has to be, like, so many communication errors and stuff. Like, the most, one of the more famous ones I can remember is, in Metal Elementor's first appearance, when, Metal meets Ultimate Elementor for the first time, or, you know, they re-meet. I assume they probably didn't know of each other before then. But, I think it's like, yeah, it's Fire's voice, and he says, like, in response to, like, Metal saying he's gonna crush Max Steel, it's Fire's voice, but Air's form, and then he's just like, good luck with that, and it's very clearly Fire's voice, and then it swaps to Air's voice, but Fire's form, with Air's voice saying, like, fool, he's a Megalink, he can annex us. And, yeah, it's just really sloppy. I mean, you can just go look it up on the wiki, Andrew, and, like, it's very easy to see, you know, Megalinks have bodies, like, actual, you know, bodies, and can annex in a higher up in command. Alright, Mega Elementor. I'm gonna keep that because that was for metal, and I don't really think metal's priority changes once he gets all of the others inside him. That sounded a bit weird. Let's go ambitious. Let's go. What did I have him? Maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, hold on. Get rid of. I'll keep self-assured. I'll put ambitious. And. Yeah, I'll keep the perfectionist thing. Hey, Duffy. Ah. Okay, so there's Mega Elementor finished as well. Give me a better picture. Give me the evil looking one. There we go. Meta Elementor. There we go. Okay, well, we've literally got like 50 minutes left of the stream, so we might as well get started on a few of the other fusions. Let's do Hydroflame. So with Hydroflame, obviously, with the other like duo combined Elementors, unlike, you know, multiple Elementors swapping between the same body, with those fusions, it was like they all, the two of them shared a body, and their appearance was a merger of the two of them rather than swapping between the different appearances. Do you not have GCSEs, Ma? Is that just a British thing? Oh yeah, I guess it could be. I never really thought about that before. I mean, I guess it probably would be different in America. Or, yeah, well, not just in America, you know, just elsewhere. But yeah, the GCSEs are just like final secondary school exams. I assume you probably have similar, or had similar stuff that was called something different. Right, so I think, for, Hydroflame. Yes, not just America. For Hydroflame, again, the Hydroflame has like the sort of line of fire going down his back, so I think I am going to base it off of Fire Elementor. I don't have the bloody red skin. I think maybe I'll do, like, maybe red skin and blue hair, because you did have a line of blue fire. Oh, yeah, I'm already seeing that this could be quite good. I'll just go with this, I guess. Well, again, that sort of leads into my theory. Again, I still think canonically Metalak is meant to be Makino's second in command, but just because Zelak could potentially be lower in command than Metalak, it doesn't mean that he couldn't have built up more of a scary reputation. Again, you know, we don't really know anything about Zelak, but, you know, he could have had a very particular role in the Machinian army that made him, you know, gave him a bit more of a scary, a bit more of a scary reputation than Metalak had, whereas he was just like, again, I think like, that's a very plausible theory, because up until the events of Season 2, Metalak was just, like, a commander. So I don't know if he actually fought in, because, I don't really know, because we know for ultralinking with something is permanent. I don't really know what the case is for Megalinks. I feel like you could make the argument that maybe they have the ability to unlink with stuff, but that was never shown or confirmed. Yeah, we don't really, again, I do still hold the theory that they were potentially, that Metalak, like, was who Zelak was supposed to be as a character. Like, because Haywire came out prior to Season 2, so I don't really know, you know, obviously they would have been planning Season 2 for a long time as well, but it could be possible that Zelak was supposed to be Metalak. Like, Zelak was supposed to be Metal Elementor, but they just went for Metalak instead. Maybe because, you know, it would be a bit, confusing for people that hadn't read the graphic novels if a random Megalink showed up that we were supposed to know who he was. But then again, like, Ben 10 did that, before, like, they put Gorvin the Tetramand from one of the video games in Omniverse. But then again, like, he wasn't really a main character, he was just a random character for, like, one episode, so it was just, like, more of a, oh, he's a person, like, he's just a character if you've never seen him before, and if you have seen him before, then, you know, like, it's an extra bit of, you know, lore for you to pick up on, but, whereas with Metalak's position, it would have been a bit different, you know, introducing a character that we were supposed to seemingly know, but a lot of people probably wouldn't know, so it's like, you know. But yeah, apart from if Vengon, although, again, I do wonder if, Vengon can even unlink Megalinks, like, there is no evidence to support this, it's purely a headcanon that I have, well, it's not even really a headcanon, it's more of a theory, but, like, you could, I sort of have a theory that Megalinks are too powerful to unlink just normally. Just because their link is stronger. And naturally, like, them linking with stuff gives them more powerful forms in general. But again, that's just a theory. There's not really any information in the show to support that. Right, so blue hair, maybe keep the... Maybe, like, considering he's got red skin, we keep just the red skin and give him blue clothes. Could be an idea. But they need to be, again, like, bright, sort of bright blue clothes. Yeah, love Earth. Again, so many of these not seen. So again, like, if this is, because with the duo fusions, it's like the two of them together, so maybe it'd be a cool idea to, like, merge their outfits in terms of their personalities, so it's like, you know, fire's very, you know, excitable, and water's very calm, so it's like, what sort of outfit would match with that? Maybe something like this. You know, yeah, between, like, something calm and something excitable, you have, like, something casual. Casual but trendy. I think that could work. Yeah, he's in the Alien Force video game, yeah. Who's more dangerous, Blast or Prism? I'd probably argue Prism, which does kind of, fit with him being a Machino Elite Ultralink, too. Again, I've talked about this before, Adventures. The Elementors don't have DNA. Like, the DNA that he absorbed from the Xenoshock was the creature itself that the Ultralink linked with, not the Ultralink itself. Like, there's no DNA for him to absorb from the Elementors because they are just elements. And with Machino, it wouldn't have been any different because, like, the only DNA there'd be for him to absorb there would be the DNA of the original Machino creator, and that was literally just a dude, so that wouldn't have given him any powers. Although, see, it's a little bit weird with Machino in particular, because it's like he had a lot of abilities that we didn't really understand, so you could potentially make an argument for Machino, but not for the Elementors. Well, mainly, Andrew, I think, because there's not really anyone, like, for stuff to still be popular nowadays in, you know, on the internet and stuff, it needs people like me making videos on it. Like, I am fully convinced, you know, I'm fully in favor of the fact that the ink tank, the only reason that the Ben 10 fandom is, and like 5YL and Beyond and everything that they've done, is the only reason that the Ben 10 fandom is as active as it is. Like, there's always gonna be people that are into Ben 10, but it's like, at the same time, there's always gonna be people that are into Max Steel, but the ink tank is what made that fandom more vocal in the modern day. And that's, you know, this exactly the sort of thing I'm trying to achieve with, you know, with my videos and with Turbified and everything. So, yeah. That's really, I think, why it's, you know, not talked about that orphanage because it needs someone like me to be making videos on it. And to sort of, you know, rally the scattered fans. If that makes sense. Actually, I'm going to stick with the shorts. I think that makes too much. I think that's too much of a divide. Or maybe make the shorts blue. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, formal. Let's give him a blue suit. Because again, with the red being the skin, that's quite overpowering. So I think a blue suit could really help with that. I want that, but darker. No, can't have. Don't want the green. That's not vibrant enough. Okay, that's alright, I guess. And then maybe I'll keep the red because that helps because you can't really see much of the skin because he's not wearing shorts anymore, so yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. Athletic. Maybe give him a red top and blue shorts. Okay, yeah, that works. No, the black doesn't really fit. He's really the only shorts. Yeah, I guess I'll go with them. And then maybe give him blue shoes. Add a bit more blue to the design. But yeah, I know you guys have been waiting like a long time for Turbified, but I promise you it is going to be worth it. It is going to be the continuation that you have all been waiting for since 2015. And I'm very excited to share it because, you know, I've been working on it to make sure it is as, you know, top quality as it can be. Sleep. Give him blue slippers and blue shorts, I think. There we go. Oh. Yeah. Oh, it's 24 degrees in my room. It doesn't feel that hot. No, if it was out, Andrew, you would know. But it is close to release. I might see if I can work on it tonight. I'm just I've had a bit of a delay because I'm trying to like figure out how the final fight of the first episode is gonna go. Or not how it's gonna go, how it's gonna end. Like, I'm at the tail end of it now, and I don't want to include too, because it's like two parts of me. Like, I don't want to include too much shit happening, but at the same time, I don't, you know, it is the sort of comeback episode, so, you know, I want to make it cool. But no, in fairness to Adventures, the reason it's taken so long is because I only really started working on it, like, as full-time as I probably could in, like, maybe around October last year. Like, I would have periods where I would just work on it for a couple of days and then just be too busy or just forget about it. But I've made, like, fucking stellar progress, you know, over the past couple of weeks and months. So it's like, yeah, you hopefully won't have to wait as long for future episodes. Plus, you guys, you know, commenting and reading it will probably give me a good, you know, dose of, you know, what's the word? Encouragement, I guess, to work on it more as well. Okay, party. That's a pretty good mix, although I'm not sure I'm a fan of the color. There it is. Yeah, okay, I think that works. Oh, yes, much better. Again, I'm not gonna... I don't think it's good to get into the habit of being like, you know, oh, you'll get however many episodes per year. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, episodes can take longer than others. There can be outside factors, for me not being able to work on it. You know, they'll be out when they're out, and but I'm always gonna try and, keep you guys in the loop about my progress. Like, you know, a couple of weeks back, you know, I was letting you guys know my progress, you know, practically every day if I worked on it, writing like 1,000 words a day sometimes, which was fantastic. But yeah, I don't think that sort of way of thinking is healthy, in terms of, you know, because that puts, like, that gives you guys unrealistic expectations, it puts unnecessary pressure on me. Like, I'm gonna work on them as often as I can, but again, you have to remember, I'm not getting paid for this, so this is something I'm doing out of, you know, my own time, for all of you guys. And, you know, I'm happy to do it, obviously, but I just need all of you guys to remember that, you know, doing it in my spare time outside of YouTube and, you know, making sure that it is as good as it can be, you know, it takes time. But the new world is currently on 18,945 words, and it's going to break my record for most words in a chapter by the time it's done. Absolutely, it's going to cross the 20k margin. Okay, yeah, that's good for party. Swimwear just makes sense for it to be water. And majority blue. Yep, that looks fantastic. Hot weather. Maybe swap these shorts to blue. If we do have a blue, we do have a blue. Maybe make the shirt a bit vibrant, a bit more vibrant if we can. Again, why are all these, like, Hawaiian shirts, like, so bland? And apart from that, like, you know, give me a bright orange. I feel like that fits, though. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Good. We're breezing through this. And cold weather. I feel like that's a good... I feel like combining their clothing is a cool idea, too. Oh, yeah, the janky pants that look like a bunch of broken textures. That's more icy than... watery. Yeah, I know, adventures. Ugh. Hey, Spiny. Oh, jaw's all bloody stiff. Which is weird considering, you know, how much I chat. No, cold weather. Maybe something a bit more vibrant than this. I think I might have used that on one of the other ones. What are they? How big are they? Are they meant to be fucking trouser sleeves or highways for rats? What the hell? Why they're so baggy? Maybe that. And again, cold weather. Nah, skinny jeans. Are those skinny jeans? I don't know clothing item names. Really? Purple? God, it reminds me of the reference to the comic book Hulk in the Incredible Hulk movie when his girlfriend buys like the stretchy purple pants. Yeah, I'll go for them. I think that works. Yeah. Alrighty. Easy fucking peasy. Although, looking back at that every day, I'm not sure I like this. It's just like an everyday outfit. I don't think it's... I don't think it's... There's something not quite right about it. Maybe... Oh, no. Hold on, maybe it's that I've got, like... I don't know, because I was saying about, like, the skin being red and it balancing it out. Yeah. There's a blue variant of that. Although I feel like that's a bit too much fire. Being all, you know, flamboyant and stuff. Not to mention the blues don't really match. What about that? Oh, I kind of want like that under bit with this outer bit. It's never perfect, is it? Ah. I feel it's a good mixture between like exciting and sleek. Yeah, that's a good mix. All right, this is Hydro Flame Elementor, and they. I think I'm gonna stick with the voice as it is because they spoke with both voices with the duo fusions. So yeah, I am gonna stick with the same voices. Let's change the food. A mixture of, you know, the cooking and the liquid. Let's change it to a master mixologist. Excuse me. Let's keep hot-headed. Let's keep playful. Maybe... I mean, we didn't really get that much of Hydro Flame. Maybe take away hot-headed and active and throw in self-assured and genius. Throw a bit of water in there as well. Alright. Bingo bango, there's Hydro Flame. Hydro Flame. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I don't know why it didn't say when I clicked it the first time. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of funny to think about, like, the idea that, the whole reason, they did that was so that people couldn't call them out on, like, the constant, voice changing, slip-ups. Okay, well, I think we've got time to do, Boulder Wind as well, so let's, who's most similar? I think Air's more similar to Boulder Wind than Earth. Boulder Wind is a very good hybrid between the two of them. It's a very good design. I'm not against the idea of... I'm not against Hydro Flame's design, but I just feel like it's a little bit... I mean, I don't know. The half fire and half water, it does look cool. I just think that Boulder Wind is a more complex and creative design. Excuse me. Plus, Boulder Wind is big like Air, so I think I'm probably gonna... Excuse me. The head shape doesn't really look like... It does look like a hybrid between the two of them. It's a very good hybrid design. The head looks more like Earth, though, I think. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna grab Earth, then. Oh, well, I don't have that, the skin tone for him, anyway, so it doesn't matter. So give him those eyes, face, skin tone. Hold on, let me grab Air Elementor as well. Just so I can see the skin tone. That one. Okay. This one, right? Yeah. Okay, thank you, Air Elemental, for that. Okay, it's kind of awkward as well, because the face of Boulder Wind is actually rock, but the rest of his body is air, and like the rock bits are like attachments almost, like, but it's annoying almost, because it's like the hands and the face, which are pretty much the only parts of him you can always see in The Sims, are rock, but obviously the main part of his body is meant to be air, so I can't really do anything about that. Hair. Yeah. Maybe this one. I think that's a good option. Yes, there we go. Every day. I feel like this is going to be a bit more difficult. I need a... It's kind of... I don't have any full... I've got a few renders of Boulder Wind, but none of them are like full ones. They didn't make any actual official renders of Boulder Wind, so... It's a bit irritating. Let's have a gander at, Wrath of Makino. Too big. Okay, yeah, so the majority of the legs, it's basically the knees, the chest plate, and the hands and the head, and some of the back that's the rock. The main body itself is actually wind. Hey, King. Fucking hell. That's a lot of ads. I swear I don't set it up like that. I set it to be balanced. Okay, then, for every day, maybe something short-sleeved, then. A brown short sleeve. Or maybe I should go with this. I think this is a decent everyday. But I will have a brief look, you know, just in... Oh, hold on. I didn't mean to click on it. I meant to... Oh. Let's have a look at the colors. Yeah, I guess I'll go with that for everyday. Formal. I need a drink. Stay hydrated, people. Oh, yeah. They've been getting worse. Oh. How is... I'm just stuck to... What the... Eh? Hey, son. Well, there's no guarantee they didn't. Again, we didn't see, like, them... we didn't see them, like, meet for the first time. Like, we joined in their meeting, like, halfway through, almost. So, I think it would have been interesting to have, like, a throwaway line, but again, they probably wanted to save that sort of, save that reveal for the next episode where he broke into Entech. Oh. We're not gonna get a suit that's brown and beige, are we? This is not gonna happen. So many of them have such few color options, it's ridiculous. I mean, I guess that could work. Make him a bit larger as well. There we go. Yeah, I'll go with that, actually. That's not that bad. Okay, athletic. Where is that? Wait, where is that? Why is it not showing up? Hello? Where are you? There you are, bloody Nora. Or does it make more sense for that to be brown and these to be beige? So I can make these beige like that. I feel like the brown is a bit too strong. Maybe see if I can get a paler brown. She's not even in this category. That's kind of weird. About this. No. It's like sort of rock colored, I guess, but That's one we've already used. I guess that could work as sort of a mixture between brown and beige. And it's less fierce than the other brown and sort of melds a bit better with all of the rest of the colors. Yeah, okay, we'll rock that then. Sleep. Keep the bunny shoes, the bunny slippers, because it's funny. Yeah. I don't think we have brown shorts, but I don't think we've got beige shorts either. Hold on, didn't I base this off of Earth? Why is this the one I chose for Earth? They're red. It was probably the closest thing I had, to be honest, looking through these. Yeah, there's legit just, like, nothing here. Well, there's these. Looks like straw. It looks like he's wearing sandpaper. Yeah, I guess I'll rock these then. Ah, get it? Rock. 'Cause... never mind. Okay. Party. This I feel would be a good opportunity to have a more air-colored outfit. Could have sworn there was one like this that was just like beige. But no, I don't want the black. That just is too dark of a color for the browns and the beiges. Oh, what? What is that? That's hideous. I haven't the faintest idea, Andrew. Something they never revealed. At least I don't think they did. See, that's the sort of... I feel like I would know if that was it, if it ever had, but that's one of the... I guarantee you, like, that could be one of the... It could be one of, like, the weird things that was, like, on the website back in the day or whatever. Oh my god, the wiki really needs more people working on it. How is NTech a stub? Yeah, it is unknown what the N on NTech stands for. In the classic series, it stood for nanotechnology. However, it is unknown if this stands true for the reboot series. While it is unknown what happened to NTech after the events of Team Turbo, Professor Mortem's biography, written for the series' official website, seemingly implies that the organization ceased its operations thanks to his efforts. Again, Hassan, you would know if it was out. Trust me, I'd be putting it everywhere. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, it says in his bio, this is on the Wayback Machine, obviously, NTech was destroyed and ConnectTech was delivered to Mortem's greedy hands. Yeah. I still really dislike that they treat them treating it as though the fucking Deadless platform was the be all and end all of NTech. Like, oh, you take out the Deadless platform, which was not even the main base for NTech, like not even remotely the main base. That was an extra thing that they created purely to fight Makino, and after that, the Deadless is basically, like, not needed anymore. And they somehow treat it as if, like, oh yeah, you take down the Deadless and NTech just doesn't fucking exist anymore. you know, it's not like they had multiple bases in Copper Canyon and other bases around the world as well. It's ridiculous. Okay, that looks alright. Kind of fits as well, because it's like the white underlayer and then the dark brown beige on top. Yeah, okay, yep, that works. We'll go with that. To break up the air-colored skin, we'll go for the shorts. Could go for those ones, though. No, again, I don't think Mortem's a rip-off of anyone. Again, I think, apart from Terrax, because, apart from Terrax, which I think you genuinely could say that he's just a rip-off of Dread, purely because their motivations are exactly the same. And they should have just been the same character. But, again, it's not I don't agree with this whole, oh, this character is just another version of this character thing. Like, Mortem is just his own character. And, as much of a, Mary Sue. That's what he is! He's a Mary Sue! That's the term that that's the term that, that perfectly describes Mortem. Why have I never referred to him in that way before? But yeah, he is literally just a Mary Sue villain. Like, he can just, he's just perfect at everything and can do everything just because. He's like Captain Marvel, but as a villain. But I actually kind of like Captain Marvel in the MCU, so that it's not really a good comparison. It's a similar thing, but I think Captain Marvel was executed quite well. Okay, so that's swimwear done. Hot weather. I already used that shirt then. Yeah, again, Season 5's antagonist should have just been Dread. I don't even care if they, bullshit us into saying that, oh, he's been allied with Nexus, for a while now. That could have worked. It could have been, after Morphos, he just somehow ran into Nexus and, then everything kicked off with them. But it's Terrorax just is Dread. There's legitimately no difference in their characters. Okay, and that works for hot weather. And then finally cold weather. I think I'll keep the dark brown jacket, but I'll swap these out to, again, a paler color. Like that. I think that actually looks really good, actually. And maybe a paler brown for the shoes. A nice in-between, maybe. I'm not sure that fits. Yeah, I'll go with that. Okay, fantastic. Definitely recovered from the incredible lack of progress that we had last stream, where we literally just made Metal Elementor, but we made all of the Glory Days fusions in this stream. Boulder, Wind, Elementor. I'll keep the Bodybuilder. Clumsy, I'll keep. Hot-Headed, I'll change to self-assured, and I'll keep bro. Alrighty. Boulderwind. I'll keep that. Ugh, God, sorry, itchy nose. Right, well, we have made fantastic progress, this stream. We made Ultimate Elementor, Mega Elementor, Hydro Flame, and Boulder Wind, and I think we did a pretty good job. I keep saying we, I did a pretty good job. You guys are chilling out and enjoying me suffer through the Sims 4 and all its limitations, and the lack of mods. But yeah, I think that'll do us for the Elementors for now. I will come back at some point and do the remaining 2, which are, Water and Earth and, Molten Elementor. The fusion between metal and fire. So I will come back and do those at some point, next time, I think we're going to do Max's friends. We're going to do Sydney, Butch, and Kirby. I don't know why I said them in that order, but yeah, I think that's what we'll do next time. Excuse me. So, I really hope all of you did enjoy this stream. It was a fun one. We talked about a lot of cool stuff. And yeah, I will, of course, be back on Friday for more Vanguard Zombies. Playing Terra Maledicta. I was very pleasantly surprised by Vanguard Zombies last week, so I'm looking forward to playing more of it. I never thought I'd say I'd be looking forward to Vanguard Zombies, but here I am, I'm saying it. Yeah, I am. I have to see if that keeps up. And of course, I'll be back on Saturday for the second golden revisit of Season 2 of Game Night, where we're going to be replaying Bookshot Roulette. That should be a great and fun stream. Love Bookshot. Very hilarious and fun game. And like I said, I'll be right back here next Wednesday doing more of this. So, thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and I will see you on another video or stream very, very soon. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for stopping by.